Well, that's enough of that. Um, Hi. Random starting out of nowhere. My name is Bear. I'm barely watercoloring. I'm jumping into it today, and uh, I don't even know what it is. Kind of like what I put on my title. I have no idea at all what I'm doing today. It's all going to be flying by the seat of my pants. Um, I had a thought for something, and I was like, it's too much extra crap to do right now. I don't feel like it. So I'm going to try to figure out something easy, mellow, peaceful to do. Hey, Goddess, welcome in. I was considering, I don't have it over here, it's over that away, but the kind of spacey background Voyager thing I did last time, I was considering remaking it, doing another one, but it's just too big and too much extra stuff to do. I just didn't feel like it today, so I'm not gonna. And then I was trying to figure out my music situation again because I've been playing through Spotify and it's just sometimes a nightmare to get it to function properly so that it shows up so I can actually control it with my Stream Deck. So I said, F it. I switched to Apple Music and it functions, but it doesn't work fully the same. I don't know. I'm not going to go too deep into it because it's just being a pain in the butt. So I'll tweak it more off stream in the future and find a better way to do it. In fact, if I'm not going to play any music while I'm talking, why do I have that visible? I'll just hide it. There we go. More real estate for us, right? It's for us. How y'all doing today? Hope you're doing good. Better than I am. I don't know what my deal is today. I'm just having one of those days. It's becoming one of those days where it's just blah, and I just don't give a flying fig about it. So yeah, today is for sure going to be a random day. Um, I was trying to figure out something earlier that I could not wrap my brain around. I was trying to figure out, this isn't it clearly, but I was trying to figure out how to show my other half something that I think would be kind of neat to do. But I couldn't visualize it to be able to explain it. So I thought, hey, let me try painting. And I threw out almost everything I did before stream. I just decided to keep this one, and even it doesn't show what I'm trying to do. I was trying to figure out painting something similar to, after I looked it up, I think it's chromatic aberration, where you have an image and then there's like a ghost of the image in the primary colors of light around it in a way. So that it looks slightly out of focus, like the colors aren't fully aligning, but it has kind of like an artsy look to it, but not quite that. I was trying to think of it like off kilter and shifted, and I just couldn't get it down on paper. So this is all I kept out of that. And even it was like, why did I even bother doing it? I mean, it's interesting, but it was just like, quick, put some yellow, red, and blue down, and then put some gray over it. And even that didn't come out the way I wanted. So, I mean, it's just one of those days where my best laid plans are all falling apart. So I'm not going to plan anything. We're just going to do random shit. Um, is it going to be good? Almost definitely not, but I don't care. I mean, this is going to be loud. Sorry, hang on. Yep. Always loud. I can't get away from it. Um, so I think I'm just going to do random shit. I don't know what it's going to be, what it's going to look like. I'm just going to do stuff, and it's almost entirely going to be garbage, but we're going to do it together. So, woof. It's Thursday. Woo. Thursday. Ah, folding's going to be fine. Let me try that chromatic aberration thing I was thinking about one more time, and I'm going to do it on a little sheet so I don't screw up the big one. Um, the one thing I don't have is I can't remember what they're called. I want to say flat brushes. I could be wrong, but something kind of like these, but smaller. And I don't know, chisel. Yeah, I'm not really sure. So, eh, eh, eh. Can you hear me? My mic shows up. It shows it as full volume. I got rid of my little volume control for my microphone. on my Stream Deck because I realized I never changed the volume. I just mute with it. So I just put a button to mute instead. And the mic is just at full volume. And it's peaking, so it looks like it's there. So if you can't hear me or it's quiet, let me know, and I'll try to figure out why it's being stupid. But music, I'm not going to do music today. I did it to start with because it seemed like a smart thing to do, and I just don't want to mess with it. So, all right. What am I going to do? I don't know, but we're going to just throw something on here. So, okay, so maybe how do I do this? Honestly, I don't even know how to do the thing I'm talking about. So what I was thinking was I was remembering something from a video game, I swear, but I cannot visualize how to make it work to save my life. But I feel like what it was basically here. I'll do it sideways and zoom a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, not loud on your speakers. The paper tearing. Got it. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. I wasn't quite making sense of it myself. Okay, so I'll just do something simple. I've got Payne's Gray over here mixed with like some blues and whatnot. I'm just gonna do just something really simple. Not going for perfection, clearly. And I starting to have one of those days. It's just, ugh. It does not help that I'm on call for work this week, and it's just on call. It just always just suck the life out of me, especially when it's just a week where just random bullshit is coming in, and it just irritates me to no flipping end. And then stupid stuff comes up during the day, and it's just, I don't know. I want to talk about it at the same time. I have been forewarned that I should not be talking about work stuff on a stream, even though nobody here from work, is here, but why take a chance on saying something stupid? So I'm just not going to. So, chromatic aberration, I guess, I don't feel like it. I was going to say I could look it up, but I guess I can show it. Move on map. Add, yeah. Well, nope. Spell it right. Images. Well, I'd really like to find a good version of an image to show you. I guess this kind of works. So like this image over here on the right, you see how it's got like the main image there, but then like the yellow, the red, and the blue is kind of like shifted from center on the image. Kind of like that is what I'm thinking, right? So that's kind of where I was going with it. But what does that mean? Especially for this. So I wasn't thinking of having it exactly like oriented the same way. I was thinking kind of off kilter into the side of each section so that you have a little bit of the different colors that make up the object just to the side, So I was thinking like you have this little like box thing or blobby rectangle sausage thing, whatever you want to call it, finger, something, but you've got like a version of it that's like behind it, you know? I'm already screwing up because I'm going on top of it and I'm trying to go behind it. But you get the idea. Like a part of it goes back behind it and then in front of it over here. trying not to get it on there. Well, it's going to anyway, but you get my idea. It's meant to be behind it. Got it in front of it. And then like the reddish one can be, I don't know, slightly underneath it and to the side. And then the blue, maybe there's like a portion of it that sticks out on top right here and meets up its outline, and then it comes out here, but not fully. Just something where there's like pieces of it coming out every which way, not necessarily horizontal. Sometimes, I mean, it could be tilted, in some way. I mean, kind of like the same object is there, but it's kind of like moving all over it and not really like, I don't know. I don't know. It was just totally a weird idea. I mean, it had no plan, no idea behind it. It was just, I don't know. I thought making an object or an image or a series of objects, a house, a tree, or whatever, and then do a version of it slightly off from it sounded interesting. I don't know. It was just stuck in my head. It made no sense. It doesn't make any sense still. It's not supposed to make sense. It was just some random BS that I came up with in my brain. To just take the edge off that's still wet. Shove it over here. So back to this. I think maybe I'll just do circles or something. I haven't done those for a bit, or something similar to them. One thing I wanted to do, but I don't necessarily feel like doing at some point, I wanted to try doing like getting the paint directly on like a palette knife and then spreading it in weird scratchy places and then trying to do that thing where you like touch it with the wet brush and it makes everything kind of bloom and go everywhere. But again, don't really feel too incredibly like that. But who knows? I might change my mind partway through. I would say maybe I just pick some random colors and do some stuff and just see how it comes out today. Doesn't it just suck when something just kills your flipping mood and you just feel blah the whole rest of the day? I hate that. Just hate it. No, that's what's there, all right. Saw someone on Instagram doing something similar to this, except they actually used the raw paint and scratched it onto the paper. However, they put it on there and put a big well of water in the middle, and then they did the most disgusting thing I don't want to do, and they literally like, but I mean, it's not disgusting. It's just dirty if you don't want to get paint on yourself, at least not intentionally. But they got the water really close to the paint along the edge, and then they wet their finger and ran their finger around, bridging the gap between the wet paint and the wet part of the image. And I don't want to get my finger covered in paint. So good for them, but no thanks. So I'm just going to do it manually. No, clearly hit some spots where I didn't get it wet. It's a little bit too wet. Okay, a lot. Okay, come on. Be nice. Just cut some new paper towels, a new roll on, and it's too thick, so it's like stuck on the surface of the table a little bit, but it's gonna be all right. Man, wasteful. Yes. Do I care right now? No. I'm not out to save the planet today. I'm only out to save myself, which sounds terrible, but man, you know what? You got to take care of yourself first sometimes. How can you take care of anyone else when you've got problems? Um, Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll pick on you because I don't know. Awful quiet in here. But you know what? It's all right. It is what it is. Well, No music playing, I'm making my own. That's terrible. What a bad idea. I don't have any green aside from that one. God, I was fine, but now that's stupid. No, whatever. I'm not gonna talk about it. I wasn't. Uh, to blue. You have to refill some of these at some point. They're starting to get low. And it's spooky quiet. Huh. Yeah, there was a bit of a yin yang thing going on right there. S- Switch for a smaller brush, without knocking all of them off. And nice. Excuse me. Just get some of this going. Boy, I'm gonna have a mess to clean up today. Rich. Well, you can't deny it's colorful. Still a little wet in some areas, but yeah, I mean, it's colorful. That's about all you can say about it. Yep. All right. Well, oh, I mean, try to clean some of the sun. Man, I picked a bad day to not play music. ASMR spray bottles. I wish. Such a clean palette. Oh, shut up. I'm yeah, I'm having a day, man. I don't know why. Not totally clean. Could be worse. Could be better. No, I'm just having a day. I'm not really feeling it, so just kind of doing random BS. Just did this. Was feeling a little preschool today. I almost used my fingers and just did finger paints. May as well. It's just a mixture of color. And because I used acrylic for the white fit, it's stuck everywhere on my mat. So I've got to whip out the alcohol. Hey, hey, that feeling. It's just a thing. You're just like, oh, yeah, the alcohol is making that come out. I don't need a perfectly clean work area, but it's kind of nice to get most of the junk up, mainly so it doesn't come back up and onto something else, like me. Couldn't decide on your next piece, so took it out of your hands and got your daughter to take the reference. She did pretty good. Oh, excellent. I mean, sometimes you just gotta the cards fall where they may. Let someone else make the decisions. I get it. And out comes some of your best stuff, I'm sure. Someone else's inspiration gets it started. God, what am I going to do next? If anything, I don't know. I don't know. You have these cheapy 5x7s. My water is filthy, but whatever. Whatever. I mean, I do use it much. Let's just do random stuff. And yep, what happens. Red and green, you end up with Christmas. Whoa. And mud, because I did a bunch of other colors in there. God, this paper is so thin. So thin. I already got stuff on it, because I got stuff on my hand. How about I stick to colors that are closer together? You can go longer than that. Random BS. Random BS. Yeah, I mean, you can see how cheap this paper is. That's why I don't use it for anything really nice. Woo. Well, I just did random BS. And I'm telling you, this paper is so thin that tiny amount of water just made this paper wimpy. It's hush. It is 230. I think that's GSM. So it's really, really lightweight paper. But that was on purpose because the goal was to send it through my printer, and that works. I don't seem to have any of those near me, but oh, it's basically like this stuff. It prints on this. I was using it for this sort of thing. Or I was making those little business cards the other day. I was trying different things. Clearly, this one was an old thing that I did, and I printed it, and it did not come out well. So I decided, let me do it again, but paint on them, and those actually came out pretty nice. So it works for that because I can feed it to the printer, otherwise the thicker paper jams. But it's not great for painting directly on too often. It just comes out kind of funky. And it's got this really kind of nasty repeating texture I don't like cheaper paper has. A lot of times, it's got that like really bad repeating pattern. Yeah. Oh boy. I feel like I am done for the day. Yes, I do. Let me dry this stuff off and see what it comes out like. This? The fancy gizmo, if this is what you're referring to, since it's the only electronic thing up here, is a heat gun. Does either, I believe it's 400 or 800 degrees Fahrenheit. So the low heat is 1, the backside pointed toward the cord. And 2 does ridiculously hot. So good for melting stuff that needs it for crafting and whatnot. I would probably never use that side, but for drawing stuff, instead of using a giant loud air dryer that just spits air, it actually does heat, so it actually dries things off a good bit better. It's pretty cheap. I've linked it before. It's like $20 or less on Amazon. There's like a million different brands of them too. So some Chinese one, I think. Only thing it does not do well is, when I'm an idiot and I leave giant puddles, it doesn't dry puddles. Like you imagine it wouldn't. So I'm also sitting here thinking, Why would anybody dry garbage if it's going in the trash ultimately? Yes, it's probably going to go in the trash. Don't ask me if I care. I don't. Good stuff, medium stuff, yes. Little fluff stuff like this. I mean, it's just going to end up wasting space ultimately, especially on this thin paper. I'm not really meaning to keep this. It was just an experiment to see what happens if I fling spots of paint and spray it with water. If it was better paper and I chose better colors, it actually wouldn't be too bad, I think. But it's just random. It's just fluff, just BS, just extra, you know. Of course, the ads are going. So unless you've got Prime, or Turbo, I mean, you have no idea I'm talking. Regardless, putting these to the side, this thing, it's all right. I am extraordinarily pessimistic today, I think. I think just stuff with things got me down, and I wasn't exactly doing a good job at warding off all the nasty bit. Man, my fingers got blue. So much of me wants to dip my fingers in my rinse water over there, and then, oh, who cares? Why not? Let's see if I can wipe it off. Probably gonna just soap and water my hands for a few minutes to really scrub it dry and get rid of it. Yep, that did almost nothing. Yeah, let's wash my hands later. Add in progress. 6 seconds. Ooh. Well, I hope that was an exciting ad break for those of you that were stuck behind it. I am done. I'm not going to do anything else today. I think I've already caused enough damage. I know it's a shorter stream than normal. I think I started it. The reality of it is this. If I go into a stream, right, and I have no genuine plan, it goes completely off the rails and I lose all enthusiasm. Somehow, when I come into it with a plan and I know kind of what I want to do, even if it doesn't come out great, I'm usually still in really good spirits because I knew what I was doing going into it. Like I had a plan, I had an idea, and I wanted to see it through to the end. When I sit here during the day or the day before and I'm just drawing a blank and I'm like, what am I going to do for my stream? And I just have no idea what that's going to be. I usually can come up with something within the last hour and I'm like, I can do this. And then it's all right. Today was just no idea. And on top of it being I don't want to say it like bad, but in a kind of a foul mood, not like angry, just blah, it just killed the desire to do anything today. But that's why I do this. I need something that makes me commit to doing this at least a couple times a week. Because if I get into a bad mood and I get into a streak of bad moods for some reason and I don't do this, it'll fall off and I'll just forget about it and it'll go in a closet somewhere and I'll never do it again. And I don't want to do that. I want to actually commit to something that I stick with. And that's one of the main reasons why I stream. If nobody was out there watching, I'd be sad a little bit, but at the same time, I'd be cool with it because the reason I'm doing this is for me to get some repetition, even if it's not good. Case in point, stuff over there that I'm not showing again. Yeah. Sole purpose in this is just practicing, just doing. I might not be doing it every day, but at least forcing it to happen a couple times a week is great. And sometimes stuff comes out awesome. This was on stream. I was really happy with how these Polaroids came out. That was an interesting idea. So I'll do more. I'll do other stuff. I don't know what, but I'll figure something out. Monday? Yeah, Monday is when I'll be back. This week was just going to be bound for hell anyway, because it's my on-call week for work. And that always just puts me in a bad mood because this I can say, it has nothing to do with work. It has everything to do with reality. I've been on call in multiple places before, and on call is when some of the stupidest of the stupid comes out because the people that needed to do the things that they needed to do during the day waited to the last damn minute until it became a crisis. And then they call when the on-call person is on, who should not be the one to do the full work. We just have to kind of get them through so they can be done for the day and they can call the service desk in the morning. But they wait until we're on, and then it's like panic time. And I hate that because I just want to be like, you chose. Okay, see, I'm going into work stuff and I shouldn't. I'm shutting it. All right, I'm done. I'm not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about it anymore. I'm going to put things up. I'm going to come back Monday, refreshed. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. I realize at some point I'm going to be rehashing. IT, yes. Artful, absolutely IT. Yes, for damn sure, absolutely IT. That's where the pain is just working that. So yeah, I've been doing it for a very long time at this point, just in general, IT for a while. And the position I'm in now, I don't have to do the like day-to-day help desk stuff anymore, but we have to do it somewhat for on-call. There's a bunch of us in an on-call rotation every week, and every like 2 months we loop back around and it's our turn again. And we just have to deal with the overflow when the service desk team is closed. And it's very few calls, so it's not that big of a deal. But man, when they come in, it's always right when you don't want to be bothered, or you're just drifting off to bed, or you're just about to wake up within like an hour, and they're your wake up call. It's just annoying. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Gosh, man, I got something in my throat. Probably from yammering and not drinking coffee from the cup that comes from the place I work. That's all I'll say about that. Okay. Hydrated, and I'm not even staying online. All right. I'm going to go ahead and head off. I don't know if anybody else is online. I didn't actually look. Twitch. Oh, there's a bunch of people on. Anyone I know that I have rated to before? There's a couple people on. Maybe. Oh, I know. Oh, well. Yeah. No. You know what I don't like doing all the time? When I raid, I try to only raid into people who do similar stuff, right? There's bigger streamers on that do different things that I like that I watch, but I don't normally raid into non-art categories. I don't think I'm ever going to. I almost think I saw Artful. Did you just go online? Because if so, man, I will just raid on over to you. You did. Great. We're going your way. All right. Guys, my name is Bear. I have been barely watercoloring. I will do some very quick shout outs and I will send y'all over to Artful. And I am heading out for the night. Right. You know, these three, at least two, Goddess and Desert, have been hanging out with me forever. They are both absolutely amazing at their crafts uniquely. Please check them out. Artful Turkey is where we're headed now. Let's go ahead and get you on over there. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, even on the bad days. I appreciate it so much. It's going to be better. It will be fine. I just have to go find some time to chillax and just not think about anything anymore. So, Turk. All right. Let's go visit Crafty Chicken. I mean, Artful Turkey. All right, guys. Bye.